right, let's get started. Thanks for coming tonight. I'm Brian Miller, the Activities and Athletic Director here at Wausau West, better known among student and staff as A.D. Miller. That came because I was at a school where there were 4 Mr. Millers, and they just decided to label me A.D. Miller, and that seems to work around here as well. Thank you for coming tonight. I know there's probably a lot of other places you'd rather be on a sunny July evening than in the auditorium. But you know what? I'm enjoying this better than those virtual things we had to do last year. So it's really nice to see your smiling face here. And we'll do our best to get you through some of the details of administration here to get your kids involved in our activities and then get you to your team meetings. Not all of the fall sports are team meeting tonight because we're going to run this meeting on August 9th as well for some of the sports that are starting a little bit later. I'm not going to cover every piece of paper that is on the online registration folders, nor all of the pieces of paper out there. I'm going to highlight some things, and I would expect that you take care of your own work, and you can read through those things as you should. And if you have questions, you can always call me or email me. I'll do my best to give you an answer. Or if you're like Mrs. Miller, my wife, the grandma, she'll just make up an answer if she doesn't know what it is, and that works too. I think I got a couple of new head coaches this fall I need to highlight. Our girls swim coach has changed. Coach Mary Schultz, although she's going to help out a bit at the beginning of the season, has retired from that position, and Coach Tyler Littman is taking over. Tyler, would you wave? There he is in the back. And Tyler was also an assistant baseball coach, so many of the kids know Tyler, and he teaches here as well. His assistant remains the same, Drew Dieter, and we're glad for that. We also had a transfer. Jana Hillman decided that she'd had enough of hitting volleyballs over the net and wants to try to hit golf balls into a hole. So she's taken over the girls' golf team for Lisa Peck. Jana, where are you?
Right here.
Okay, right back there. So, our other head coaches have remained the same with the exception for cheer. Is Coach Dana here? Hi Dana, how are you? Dana's taking over the cheer program for Haley Randall, and she also has a new assistant, Alexis Bitters, and I think our cheer program is going to continue to rock. So good to have you on board. The rest of our head coaches have remained the same, unless I hired somebody and I'm blowing my mind here, but anyway, I think they've stayed the same. But there's several new assistant coaches, and I will let your program coaches introduce those folks. And I'm going to talk about our coaches in just a second, but that'll get us going at least for this evening. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Paul, are you here? Because he told me he wasn't coming till the 9th. I didn't think so. Is there any volleyball players here tonight? Do I have any? Few? Okay. Yeah, Coach Linsmeyer is taking over for Coach Newton, and but he kind of sent the word out that most of them would be attending the August 9th meeting. But thanks for helping me remember that.
Turn it on.
Glenn, why are you making me do all these hard things? There we go. Okay. 2 people you need to know around here. One of them, I hope you met out there, Brittany Tesh, is taking over for, or has already taken over, for Stacy Linsmeyer. Brittany, would you raise your hand and wave? She is my assistant in the athletic office. She has done an absolute fantastic job. Took over in midstream in the middle of a pandemic sports year. Did a wonderful job and has already made my life a lot easier. And I thank you, Brittany, for doing that. And I've got a couple other announcements that pertain to Brittany for you guys in terms of information and some posting of registration materials. The other is Kim Beggs, our trainer. Kim, are you here tonight? Kim is with Bone and Joint. She's been with us several years, and she will be treating your students if they have an injury. She will also be doing our impact testing. And you will receive some information from her about a program for health notification. So if your child is seen by Kim for any kind of an injury, it's logged. You can gain access and see what treatment is being done for your child and what kind of progress that Kim is assessing them at, and hopefully helping them return to activities a lot faster. This is my pick for the night. This is my theme for this year. You are important to me. And one of the things that we felt as a collective group last year was how hard it was to connect as teams, as classmates. The whole virtual and slow return to in-person learning made it very, very difficult to connect. And I feel really bad for those kids that are sophomores this year, for many of them had very little of the West experience as a ninth grader. And for some kids, it was very, very difficult. And one of the things that I want to see this year is that those kids that may have felt a bit marginalized, a bit on the outside, never felt like they belonged due to that environment, that they would understand how important they are. And so if they're in front of me, or they're in front of one of their coaches, they are the most important person in the world. And you will have my attention, and you'll have my ear, and I will do the best to help you, because I want you to feel part of the Warrior family. And I can speak also for our coaches. This is starting my third full year. I came back in 18 after school had already started. And I have as much excitement for this year as I've ever had, in large part because of such a wonderful coaching staff. And I can tell you categorically, and I meet with my head coaches, some of them come in almost daily, that they have this same sentiment towards your child, that your child is very, very important. They are of great worth and of great value. And we don't take the opportunity to interact with them, to coach them, to administrate them lightly. We aren't always going to be able to give them everything that they want. It's not possible. But we will try to give them everything that we're able to give them, and to challenge them in the best way that we know how. One of the things that I talk about with coaches is, I want to see your kids fail. But I want to see them fail in a practice, because there is no better environment for your kids to understand failure and success and dependence upon their teammates and the will and the strength to go a little bit further and a little bit harder than they've done in the past than when they fail. And we want them to do that in practice. And you will have coaches that will set your kids up to be on that line to fail at a drill in practice or something like that. It's part of a plan to help make them better. So one of my thoughts towards you, and I have a little picture coming up later, but it's more humorous than that, is allow your kids some failure. It's okay. It's okay. They learn far more that way than any other way. And I'm going to guess that in this discerning and discriminating group of adults here at Wausau, that most of us, if we could candidly share, would say some of the best lessons I learned were when I did a bad job and my superior chewed me out, or I just fell flat on my face and I realized what happened, and I realized I needed to do things a little bit different, and I got a lot better. And I don't think our kids are that much different. And co-curriculars is just an opportunity for us to do that. So, kids, you're important to me. You're important to your coaches. And moms and dads, you're important to me. And you're going to have some concerns, complaints, and we'll talk about how you communicate those, but you're always welcome to talk to me. And I hope we carry on what happened last year. We had a wonderful fall, despite pandemic. We had a boys cross country team that was a conference champ. Girls tennis was conference champs. Girls golf was conference champs. What am I missing? Cheer, we had a championship cheer team. I'm just talking the fall. Tennis, golf. Soccer boys were conference champs. Football made the playoffs. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play the darn game. So it was a wonderful year. And volleyball had a great season. And if we hadn't lost Dear Robin at the start of the season, I have a feeling there'd probably be one more conference champion trophy put in the West trophy case last year. But that was pandemic. And anyway, it was a great fall, and I think we're going to just carry on. All right, let's get to more important things here. Hey, we do co-curriculars for three reasons, in my opinion. It's good for the kids, it's good for the school, and it's good for Wausau. And we promote it to the best of our abilities. There are 7 things that you're required to get in. You will see them on the online registration, which I will cover, or if you picked up paper copies, it's an emergency medical sheet. You're going to need a physical card, either one this year or an alternate year card. You're going to need a WIAA eligibility form, an activity code, handbook signature sheet. Your coaches are going to give you an expectation sheet for their sport. It's unique to their sport and very specific. You'll need that. There's concussion information in a signature sheet, and you got to pay a user fee. These forms and the fee have to be in before you can compete. Here's the cutoff dates for physicals. If your physical is dated April 1, 2021 or after, you're good to go with that physical. If it's dated April 1, 2020 to March 21, 2021, you're going to need the alternate year card. You don't have to go back to the doctor for that. That's one that you can sign as an adult. If your physical is dated before April 1st, 2020, you got to go back with the physical form and have a doctor give your athlete a physical, and then you'll be good to go. It's basically a 2-year process. A physical, then the alternate year card. I think Brittany's got a note for me here about physicals. Nope, I'll catch that later. How do you register? This is our school website. Now, the district website has been updated all summer, so if you've tried to go on, you may have been frustrated because some of the things aren't working. They're still getting all of the pieces put in place. But you're going to go to the West High School site, you're going to go to athletics, and that's going to take you to the Our School Today registration site. This is what it looks like. You're going to click on Register Now. You have an option. If you're a returning user, you just log in there. If you've done this with another or a past student, that's where you're going to go. If you're brand new, you're going to create an account. It's very easy to do. If you are an existing user, in the drop-down, once you open your account, you will see the list of kids that you already have registered in the past. If they were underclassmen, like freshman, sophomore, junior, their name is there. You don't have to re-put in their information. You just have to update what sports they're going to be in for that year. Very easy. If it's a new child coming in, you just had a senior leave, and now you got a freshman coming in, you will have to enter that student's information. If you forget your password, which happens, please don't start a new account. Just get a new password. Okay, the information is there. Frequently, somebody just starts a new account, and then the Johnson family has 4 accounts and kids in 3 different accounts, and we can't find them. So don't start a new account. Just get a new password. This is where you will upload your physical, whether it's the alternate year card or the physical that you get signed from the doctor. You can take a picture of it with your phone. Moms and dads, if you don't know how to upload stuff from the phone, get your kid. They'll get it done for you. Glenn, are you hitting the button?
Yep.
Because I thought there was a ghost touching this. Okay, impact test. That's a computerized test which establishes brain function on a baseline, okay? It's a series of dots and circles and colors. And you push this button and that button, and it establishes a baseline. In the event that your child might have a concussion, they would go through protocol with Trainer Kim, and if she needed to, she would go back and retest them, and the system compares the baseline to their current condition, and in many cases will allow them back to activity sooner. But we do have a concussion protocol. You'll see that out there, or Trainer Kim she'll keep you abreast of how your child is doing. She'll also get the dates out to the head coaches as to when those tests are going to take place. The activity fees. Don't ask me why this is blank, okay? Because it isn't on the program. Glenn's got it up there showing, but we can't get it to show up here. So it's $50, and you can pay that online through your Infinite Campus account, or you can get a check here to the high school. Brittany's telling me that those online payments for the athletic fees should be ready in your Infinite Campus account for your student in about 2 to 3 weeks. We don't put them in there right away until we get a better final roster from our coaches. Otherwise, a kid may sign up but never comes out, and we don't want to assign a fee to them when they never really came out for the team. We want to make sure that those fees that get tagged to your student are actually accurate. You can also pick, if you know for sure and you want to pay her tonight, she'll be more than happy to take your money, okay? Or you can drop off a payment here in the business office at any time. Communication. How do we communicate if we have an issue with a coach? First of all, what we really, there are appropriate things to talk about. The way your child's being treated, mentally and physically, ways to help your child improve, concerns you might have about your child's behavior. We do not get into discussions about playing time, team strategy, play calling, and we don't talk about other student athletes. I know sometimes when you're frustrated, it's very tempting to go that way, but that's not appropriate communication. The pipeline for communication goes from student to coach, and please don't minimize this, because part of what we do in training kids to be good citizens and get out of high school and be the kind of people we hope they are, is that they're good self-advocates. And when they have an issue with an employer or somebody who has a supervisory position over them, that they're able to go and say, hey, what do I got to do about this? Why is this not happening for me? Most of the concerns that our kids have, that by the time I hear about them, have been resolved at that level if the student will take the effort to go talk to the coach. I know that's a little scary. You're 14 years old, here's a coach that's been doing it for 20 years or whatever, and you're very nervous. I can tell you this, our coaches will not bite your head off. They might not tell you everything that you want to hear, but you'll hear the truth. And I think what you hear will help you make a step from there in the right direction. And a lot of the tension and the frustration that you might be experiencing will probably be taken care of at that level. You can see the rest of the pipeline. After that, the parent will get involved if need be. I haven't had one go to the school board yet, or the principal, or the superintendent. So we've been able to frustrations to handle them at a pretty good level, and they happen. I get that. This is the nature of competitive co-curricular activities. So just remember this as you go through the year, please. Thank you. COVID update. Boy. Now, I was going to have a shield here in case the tomatoes were going to come flying at me, and I needed to protect myself. Because we're all over the board about COVID. I get it. And I don't want to make any of that kind of conversation tonight, but I did need to bring something that came out in the fall expectations, recommendations, and guidelines from the WIAA. They have chosen to follow the CDC order that when riding public transportation, that is a school bus for us, that the riders need to be masked. That's not coming from First Student. It's not coming from the Wausau School District. It's coming from the WIA via the CDC. Is that going to change, and might that change? Absolutely. Could change tomorrow. But I figured I better give you a heads up tonight so that when your kids are going on that away trip, have them put a mask in their bag, just have it ready, and be prepared to mask on those trips. I can get you copies of this if you really want them. They are on the WIAA website. That's really the only COVID update that I have for you, other than the fact that we're going to be monitoring things very carefully. We want our kids to be safe. Fortunately, we don't have to start the year practicing and playing with masks. We're not quarantining. We don't have to do the pods, all of those things that we did for mitigation last year. At this time, we don't have to do that. I'm very thankful for that, and I'm sure you are. I know our coaches are. A survey done by high school athletes, this was the most frequent answer on what do you want your parents to say at the end of a game or a meet or a match about what you did. This was not even close. This was like 80% of the kids responded, I just want my parents to say they enjoyed watching me. That's pretty simple. So there isn't criticism, and I know it's easy to have all kinds of interesting dinner discussions, but just so that you know, this is what your kids really just want you to say. And oh, by the way, I thought this was great. Look at my dad, he's throwing a tantrum because I missed the ball and the little kids laughing. Okay. I know this would never happen to anybody in here, but I got a chuckle out of that. I will say this, and I've been doing this for many years, the West family, and that includes all of you parents and moms and dads, this is a pretty good group for having some self-control. And so I commend you for that. And that's why I do it with a form of humor. If you get out of hand and start piping off at a game, I might come up and sit by you for a few minutes, bring a Coca-Cola with me, and get to know you a little bit better, okay? Academic eligibility. Boy, this is really important because it does cause some confusion. And this is the stance, or this is the practice here in the Wausau School District. Some districts practice it a wee bit different, but by and large, it's what we have to follow based on the WIAA. Your academic eligibility is determined by a quarter grade. Semester grades will determine whether your child earns the credit for that class, but it does not determine their eligibility. Here's where it gets a little sticky. Your child gets an A first quarter, okay? Yeah. Great job, nice job. The kid goes, boy, this was an easy peasy class, and blows off second quarter. Gets an F, but manages to have enough percentage points that the semester grade is an E+. Mom or dad looks, or the kid looks at the report card, hey, got a D for the semester, I'm good to go. You failed second quarter, okay? You pass the semester, you get the credit, but you're ineligible for 15 school days because you didn't pass the quarter. We don't want kids blowing off quarters because they happen to have a good first quarter or a good third quarter, okay? We want you to be good students first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, and the semester grade and the credit will fall in line. Okay, we are going to continue the online ticket purchasing that we did last year. But before you raise objection, because I know they're coming, those of you who did that last year and you got all those little code numbers and you had to put the code in to get 2 tickets or 4 tickets, we're not doing that. You can just go on the Ticket Spice site and you can buy, I think I'm letting you buy 25 tickets at a shot. You don't have to put a code in. This allows you to purchase with a credit card. You don't have to pay cash when you come to the event. And I wanted to explain to you how you might be able to do that. We will still have ticket sellers and paper tickets for those of you that want to do that at the event. Or if you want to buy season passes, you can do that in the business office at any time. So you would go here to the activities calendar. I think this is the new reveal of the West site. And from there it will take you to our ordering tickets online. This is what they look like. That's actually the De Pere Wausau West football game on August 20th. You would just click home tickets. What's the next one look like, Glenn? I can't remember what I put. Okay. Go back one. So on the little plus icon there, you click on that, it'll open up the window. You can pick how many tickets you want. You're going to put your name in, okay? And then the billing information, and you'll have your tickets. They'll be on your phone if you want them delivered that way, or you can print them off. so that when you come to the event, we will have scanners there, and you just leap on the phone, your phone on the scanner, and right into the game you go. You don't have to stand in the ticket line. So you may want to do that if you find it easier. You can also find these links to the games. By the way, most, I believe, if not all of the Wisconsin Valley Conference schools will continue their online ticket purchasing. So those of you who are used to this, it's old hat, you're going to have no problem. When we go down to Marshfield, you'll be able to buy your ticket online, and away we go. But you see the little icon that says ticket under the event? If you click on that, it'll take you to that same ticket I just showed you. The little camera will be live streaming. So if you can't get to an event, if the event is being live streamed, if you click on the camera, it will open up the live stream link, and Grandma and Grandpa down there in Fort Myers can watch the football game or wherever they might be. That's how you can find the links. There's one other place. This is the ticket link calendar that will come up, and it'll show the whole calendar with all the events that have tickets for sale, and it'll state the name of the event. This is from last fall, where we hosted the WIA State Volleyball Tournament. You click on that, takes you to the ticket window, or the ticket page, and you can buy your tickets there. I think that covers the ticket thing. Next one, Glenn. Okay, go back one. I want to talk about something else before we get into stuff like hazing. Girls cross country and curling, your registration online, and you can register for winter and spring sports at any time. There was a change in the way the system, not ours, but our school, which runs that activities calendar for us, has separated girls and boys cross country. Any of the sports in which they kind of practice and go to meets together, like cross country, they've now separated them, so there's a gender one, and I have to create an alternate schedule. And until I finish that schedule, you can't register your daughter. I have the cross country schedule in there, but it's been tagged to the boys' registration. So the boys' cross country people can register without a problem. The girls will be able to do it. In fact, I'll get here tomorrow and see if I can't get that thing up and running the way it's supposed to be running. But if you're wondering what that schedule is for the meets, it's the same as the boys, because we run them at the same time and in the same place, okay? And curling is not up because it just doesn't have a schedule yet. I don't have a schedule for them yet. Ms. Tesh will have updated grid sheets that she will give to your head coaches, which will have updated information on the registration, whether a child's missing a fee or a physical or whatever. Your child may be held out of a practice. Maybe you got most of the registration done, but we don't have the physical done yet, or the fee not paid. They may be held out of that practice, okay? And you now know, okay? So if your kid comes to practice and has to sit because they don't have all their stuff in, that's why. Brittany, anything else? Did I cover what you wanted? Okay. Okay, Glenn. The gloomy stuff. Hazing and bullying. Okay? Hazing is defined as harassment, abuse, or humiliation by way of initiation. Some kind of thing to belong to a team. The older kids make the younger kids do things, or participate in some activity, which is not good. That's hazing, and it's not permitted, okay? It's actually illegal. Bullying is often an attempt to exclude somebody. Hazing is the right to come into the team. Bullying is keeping somebody out. These behaviors are against the law, they're against our school code, and they're in our activity code. Incidents which might be perceived as bullying or hazing should be reported to any school personnel. I need to know about it as soon as I can so I can get on it and take care of it. It can be reported by you, or if you see it happening to someone else and they're just afraid to say something, please report it. Harassment is unwanted behavior that interferes with a student's school performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive school environment. It limits and denies the rights of a student to study, work, and play in the school setting. It can take forms of sexual, physical, racial, verbal, and nonverbal harassment. They're against the law and the school code and activity code, and incidents which might be perceived to be harassment should be reported to any school personnel if it occurs. I need to hear about it as soon as I can so we can take care of it. And, as you know, it's not face-to-face stuff. Most of this is taking place over our social media platforms, and it's just as illegal there as if it happens face-to-face. Be respectful of the people that are your teammates, please. We do allow dual sport here. That is playing two sports in the same season, okay? An exact example here has been Nick Rosh was a very good soccer player, but he also could kick field goals. So he played soccer and football. To do something like that, you need to meet with both coaches, and you need to get a signature from both coaches and establish priority of teams and practice schedules. So we allow it, but we want to know about it, and we want a very clear expectation about the sport of priority and the secondary sport. It doesn't always work with every sport. I know some people think, well, I'm going to do both of them. Some sports it doesn't work very well. The schedules just do not work. Some it does. And so if that's the case for your son or daughter, it's available. Traveling. We really like it if the kids travel together. That's part of the high school co-curricular experience. I understand sometimes you need to get your kid home for whatever reason. But if you're continually pulling them off the bus, you're taking away part of that experience for them. So we like them to go home to and from the events with their team. We also understand that maybe with this bus and mask thing, that's not something you want to mess with. If because of COVID or any of those restrictions that you choose to drive your student to their away events, we're going to ask that you choose to do that for the whole season. Don't pick and choose, okay? So if I just don't want my daughter or my son on the bus with 48 other kids in really close quarters, but I don't mind them playing, that's fine, no judgment there, but you're going to choose to drive them if that's what you wish to do, and then you'll choose to drive them to all the away events for the remainder of the season. It's not a punishment. We just don't want to have to figure out ordering buses by, I got 40 kids today, next Thursday I only got 35 because some of the parents are driving or not. It's kind of an all or nothing deal if you're going to transport your own child. If for some reason you need to leave, I prefer at least 24 hours. You notify the athletic office, okay? One of my greatest fears is that a child goes home with somebody they aren't supposed to. And so I like to hear from mom or dad, hey, I'm taking my child with me. I notified coach after the football game or the volleyball game. I like to know that. I want our kids to be safe. I want them to ride with the people they're supposed to ride with, and I want them to get home safely. Notify me. This is on the activities site. This is the activities calendar, which you'll see from the high school website. There's a little menu there called Notify Me. If you were to click on that, it will allow you to pick any of the activities that we have, and it will allow you to choose a way to be notified in the event there's any schedule change in an event. So if I was to postpone a game, or weather was involved, or anything, by the way, this is great if you're a spring sport parent, because that really gets changed. But it does happen some in the fall. Any schedule changes that I make, you'll get a notification, whether it's a text or whatever you choose. You can pick just the sport your child is in, or you can pick any of the sports that you enjoy watching. You can find us on Twitter. Now, full disclosure, okay? Mr. Miller also has goals, just like our kids and coaches do. And Mr. Miller is going to increase his social media presence, okay? These guys are laughing, okay? I can see it out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, right. What's he going to do, take out a typewriter? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get better at social media. And I have a program that I'm using that is going to help me expand our social media reach and be a bit more prompt and a bit more dynamic and captivating. On top of it, Coach, I need another adjective. Come on. All right. Anyway, you will be able to find us on social media a little bit better. If you don't, that means I really goofed up on this program and I didn't understand it. But I think I can figure it out. So you'll be able to track us on social media. What else do I got, Glenn? Okay, we got some wonderful Scoreboard sponsors. I'm not going to name them all, but I want you to look at them. They all play a part in funding our athletics here, okay? You know how tough it is because you're a parent. You've been part of booster clubbing probably most of your life with your child. And these folks, some of them put out a lot of money to be on our boards and our scoreboards. And so know who they are and support them. We also have a couple that provide direct money into our program. That would be the next slide, Brandon. Buffalo Wild Wings and the Pride Pump. We get money back from BWs every time you go there and tell them you're a West Warrior fan, or if you pump some gas down there at the R store, the Pride Pump, we get money back on the money that you spend there, and that comes back directly. That doesn't go into any advertising. So I just wanted to let you know about those folks. We're really grateful for these people that help us. What else do I got? Hey. Warrior Athletics is participation at maximum effort and your best attitude. You're important to all of us, okay? That's all I got to say. What time it is? I know I went longer than 45, but I started late, didn't I? It was a 40-minute deal. Oh, we're not too bad. Okay. We'd like to get on social media. I'm really going to get good at this. So we're going to break out here so you can meet with your coaches. Do I have some boys soccer folks here? Okay, we do. Now I think Coach Cernata is planning on doing their team meeting on the 9th. Okay, and they'll be in the auditorium. I'm glad you came tonight. But if you can pop back and even kind of time it, like 6:45, you'll be here for the boys soccer meeting. I believe volleyball's doing the same thing. Football will be here. Girls golf with Coach Hillman, you are going to the staff lounge, which is down the hill to the left. All of the super fast swimmers are going into the choir room with Coach Littman. Coach Rasmussen, maybe I can put you in the band room so they don't have to walk very far. So we'll get the cheer kids going there. Cross country, you're going right across the hall into the choir room. And who am I missing? Tennis, I think. Tennis, where are you? Is Steve here? I think he was planning on meeting on August 9th. Yeah. Okay, the swimmers are going to 220. That's upper floor. Don't go to the first stairwell. They're replacing the handrails. Go to the second stairwell.